Ayan, please introduce yourself.
Yes. So my name is Ayan Jain. I was born in Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. I have done my schooling from Sanskriti School in New Delhi and my graduation in electrical engineering from IIT Delhi, where I graduated in 2021. I am currently in the Indian Police Service and have taken extraordinary leave.
You're already in IPS.
Yes, sir.
So you have taken extraordinary leave. It means that one person is missing. So don't you think that DOPT should change this leave policy?
Sir, certainly steps have already been taken. Earlier, there used to be 2 extraordinary leaves. Now there is only one. Sir, I still do believe that this balance is good for offering more opportunities to the selected candidates, and also because the extraordinary leave exists for other purposes also, for example, health or pursuing education, I believe. So, sir, retaining the concept of 1 year extraordinary leave is still valid, sir, but certainly it can be considered because some other academies have not given the provision, sir.
You are already in service. Why you want to become an IAS officer? You are already an officer.
Sir, I'm certainly extremely happy as an IPS also. Sir, I believe the work profile of an IS is more to my interest in terms of the working in projects and programs, and also the diversity in terms of various areas or sectors to work in. That is something to my interest, sir.
All right. Tell us about NSS, the basic difference between NSS and NCC. And what is the motto of both NSS and NCC?
So the motto of NSS is not me but you. So the motto of NCC, I believe, is unity and discipline, but I will recheck, sir. Sir, both certainly do cater to a person's character development. NSS does so through social work, for example, working with NGOs, whereas NCC is often through parades and other such disciplinary activities, sir.
And when were they established? When was NSS established?
Sir, NSS was in 1969. NCC, I will check, sir.
Which ministry handles it? It comes under which ministry? Ministry of Education.
Sir, I believe it is Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs, Sports and Youth Affairs, sir. But I will check
Right.
again, sir.
So, Ayan, the public perception of Indian police is not encouraging. People sort of fear. There is a fear about Indian police. So, what is the reason behind this, and how? What are the steps you will take to change this perception?
Sir, first I would say there are certain lacunae in policing which are causing these issues. For example, efficiency due to resource constraints or lack of social skills within the police personnel or the presence of corruption. At the same time, sir, it is also due to a perception that is created by media, such as through cinema, which might be distorted. Lastly, sir, often in terms of women and women's security is a major contributor. For example,
Can you recommend some police
and
reforms?
also crimes are committed against women by police personnel. So
Can,
steps
can
in
you
this,
can you recommend some police reforms?
yes, sir. Sir, first would certainly be to improve the training of police personnel, especially the constables. Sir, not only in their field of work, but also in social skills to sensitize them about interactions with public in general. Secondly, sir, to fix the resource constraints, to incorporate more technology to improve the policing. Thirdly, sir, the police stations being the direct interface with the public, improving them, such as introducing CCTVs and also women dedicated desks.
All
These
right, my last question to you. Please be brief. You're giving lengthy answers.
extremely, sir.
CBI is a caged parrot. CBI, ED, all of these institutions are caged parrot. There is so much of political interference. What are your views on it? 30 seconds.
Sir, I do not believe so. Sir, the concerns might be valid in this regard, but if we look at the mandate of these agencies, they work on important areas such as corruption and money laundering, which have to be acted upon even on suspicion. Secondly, sir, independence of these bodies is ensured through the appointment and tenure. But at the same time, sir, in some cases, the low conviction rate is causing friction, and more transparency can be introduced to ensure that trust is maintained.
All right. Thank you, Ayan. I'll
Thank
pass
you.
on this to the next board.
Yes.
What is Napier, Ayan? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, Charles Napier was an officer in the British Army and later the governor of Sindh. He is known for the Battle of Miani.
Battle of?
Battle of Miani, sir, in Sindh.
You said chess is the extracurricular activity that you indulge in. And you have mentioned blitz, bullet, bughouse. Explain these.
So these are three variants of chess. Blitz is a variant played between 3 to 10 minutes per player for the entire match. Bullet is played under 3 minutes for the entire match per player. And Bughouse is a 2 versus 2 variant where the boards are connected in the sense that pieces captured on one board can be used on the other board.
Okay. What is your preferred opening?
Sir, as white, I prefer the king's pawn e4. And as black, if the opponent has played e4, I prefer e5. And otherwise, it depends on the opponent's opening, sir.
Okay. So you were asked about police reforms. What is Prakash Singh's case? Firstly, what is your cadre that has been allotted to you?
Madhya Pradesh cadre, sir.
Madhya Pradesh cadre.
Yes.
Okay. What is the specific case which was filed by Mr. Prakash Singh?
Sir, Mr. Prakash Singh was a DGP of the police and he filed a case with respect to lack of implementation of police reforms, in specific with relation to politicization of the police. There were seven important recommendations laid down in the judgment, sir.
Okay. Name two most important orders.
Sir, first I would say is the separation of law and order and investigation. Second is the police establishment board for appointments and transfers.
Okay, so the separation has not yet happened.
Sorry, sir, there was a net issue. Could you please repeat, sir?
The separation between investigation and law and order has not yet happened. Why?
Sir, to some extent, in some areas, I do understand it has happened. But largely, sir, the constraint of manpower is there because not enough police personnel are there to separate them.
Not, I mean, have they started recruiting separately for investigating and law and order duties?
Sir, I'm not aware of this, but I have heard that in some states, to some extent, separation in terms of specialization is being done. But I will gain more insight about it, sir.
What is the biggest problem that Madhya Pradesh faces in regard to the security related issues?
Sir, I would say crimes against children, where Madhya Pradesh is first in the country, and crimes against women, where Madhya Pradesh is second in the country. Sir, Naxalism has reduced significantly. Earlier, it used to be a threat, sir.
Okay. Why has it reduced? What steps were taken to get it reduced?
Sir, first it was after the division of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, because most of the hotspots were in Chhattisgarh. Secondly, sir, police action was the major driver force. The police to tackle Naxalites were given additional training, additional benefits, and also the highest quality of equipment, which helped them tackle the Naxalites. And thirdly, sir, the surrender come rehabilitation policy also played a major role.
All right, thank you.
You can hear me. So basically, I mean, you are already you have to join the police service. You have joined already, or
Yes, sir, I have
you
joined.
already?
Yes, sir, and then I
So-
took extraordinary
So,
leave.
so basically, you are already well settled as a police officer, and you have applied for only the Indian Administrative and the Indian Foreign Service. Now, if you were appointed to the Indian Foreign Service, where would you like to work in? If you were given a choice.
Sir, I would like to work in multiple areas to have the diversity. But if I have to choose one country, sir, I believe I would like to work in China because our future is going to be invariably linked with China, and improving relations with China is going to be a key to India's progress also, sir.
So let's come to Indo-Chinese relations as present. There is, at one point of time we are having problems in the border. On the other side, all of us are using Chinese equipment, including mobiles and things like that. So how would you characterize the present Indo-Chinese relations, and how do you see it moving?
Sir, I would characterize them as a very deep economic engagement, but confrontation and dispute in other matters, such as border or in terms of ideologies. Sir, in the future, I believe that it is going to diversify as it is in the economic and other interests of both countries. Certainly, friction points are there, but I believe they can be resolved over time owing to the importance that both countries hold for each other.
So you say friction points would be reduced in the sense that you do not see a future in which India and China will always be at loggerheads, in spite of the fact that their boundary disputes are bound to continue for quite some time.
Sir, I do believe that the situation is going to improve. And yes, sir, as you mentioned, the boundary disputes might continue, but having engagement and in interlinking in other areas, such as a deeper economic ties, they will help balance these relations, sir.
Okay. Now coming to the Indian Administrative Service, since you are a member of the Indian Police Service and you have more knowledge of these things than most other people who are appearing, which area do you think the administrative service at the district levels are performing quite okay and well? And which are the areas that you feel we have a little bit more distance to cover?
Sir, I believe the implementation of welfare schemes in general is being done in a very good manner. Any projects and programs are being undertaken. Often, district collectors or other administrators take up projects on their own, which yield very good results. Sir, I believe the major issue is with the connect that poor people, especially, feel with the administrators. Perhaps there is still a feeling of elitism, or there is uh, not enough welcoming approach towards the common people.
Well, I see that you were born in Napier Town, which is an English name, and you were asked about. Are there other nearby towns in Jabalpur with English names still?
So there is Slimnabad, which is named after Colonel Sleeman.
English names?
Sir, Slimnabad is named after Colonel Sleeman.
Hmm. Is in Jabalpur?
Sir,
Still a little
sir, I will recheck the location.
distance from it.
Yes, sir, it is near Jabalpur.
Any other localities in Jabalpur with English names?
I will recheck, sir. I have not. I was only born in Jabalpur and shifted quite early.
You were just born there. You didn't anyway, because it's written there. They may ask you about Wright Town and
Yeah.
Napier Town and other towns, and the fact that they had. Why do you think that there are so many ordnance factories there?
Sir, it is largely to do with Jabalpur's location being at approximately the center of India. It allowed the transport of all equipment in a very easy manner. Secondly, sir, Jabalpur was already well developed, so these ordnance factories could come up there, and the army headquarters were also there in Jabalpur for this reason, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll now pass on to my colleague.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
You have joined IPS. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, sir.
But law and order, I believe, is a provincial subject.
Sorry, sir. Could you please repeat? It got cut.
Okay, I'm saying law and order is a state subject, provincial subject.
Yes.
why do we need IPS?
Sir, there is certainly already a debate about whether the law and order should be brought to concurrent list. But sir, having an All India service, number one, it ensures that interstate issues are resolved. Secondly, sir, it allows coordination between different states, and it also brings an All India character to the service, sir.
You mentioned All India service,
Yes, sir.
but police is called police force. What that conveys?
Sir, when we talk about officers such as the superintendent of police or the higher levels, sir, their major mandate is to bring out the best from the police force, from the constabulary and the other persons. So, sir, the leadership role corresponds to them being called a service. Whereas when we talk about constabulary and the central police reserve forces, they are referred to as force, sir.
So leadership governs over force to ensure that force is used to maintain law and order the way leadership in police wants to operate.
Yes, sir. That is my understanding, sir.
So force is the methodology to maintain law and order.
Sir, I meant force in terms of the police force. That is all the persons, the constabulary and other people.
Yeah, obviously, DG police or superintendent of police, they don't go to deal with riots, they send the force.
Yes.
But Panch Pran that Prime Minister mentioned of in last Independence Day speech to take India to make it developed country, one important pran was to do away with the colonial mindset.
Yes.
So how you think we can do away with the colonial mindset, because entire bureaucracy is the inheritance of colonial system. Obviously, we can't do away with the bureaucracy, but can you pinpoint some changes that you see happening where it is becoming visible that bureaucracy is becoming post-colonial in that sense?
Sir, first I would say is in their interactions with the people. While some issues still persist, but they are more welcoming and more approachable to the common people. Secondly, sir, when we talk about the police, it is not only a repressive force, it is also about visible policing to prevent crime. It is not to contain India or to maintain a rule, rather, it is to maintain public law and order within the country, sir.
But you were asked this question before about why it is that common man still shuns bureaucracy, but specifically police.
Yes.
So why is that continuing if you're saying that they're building a connect with people?
Sir, I would say that the situation is improving, but there is still some issues remaining. Overall, sir, I believe it is only a matter of time and more proactive efforts that will improve this connect, sir.
How was central provinces reformulated, reorganized, and given a new name, Madhya Pradesh?
So the Reorganization Act of 1956, sir, the name I believe was due to its location, hence, and bringing a more Indian version, calling it Madhya Pradesh. But
Do
I
you
will check again, sir.
do you use ChatGPT?
Yes, sir, I have used it quite often, sir.
You've used it quite often, you said.
Yes, sir.
What do you think of it?
Sir, I think it is an excellent tool with a lot of opportunities, and I find it to be a breakthrough, sir.
So you can rely on ChatGPT then to produce answers that you would like to submit to your seniors, and would that be a reliable tool to apply? It can write a note to you.
Sir, I believe it may assist, but it cannot do the entire job. Number one, sir, it does not give answers deeply based on the ground realities. And sir, for any report, I have to focus on the exact case rather than a general principle. Secondly, sir, ChatGPT is not well updated in terms of data, whereas I have to bring in all the contemporary affairs and the immediate updates, sir.
Can you pinpoint any of the missions of Prime Minister that you are particularly inspired by?
Sir, Digital India mission is certainly one of them. Accessible India campaign is also a very important mission, sir.
Final question, have you read or are you familiar with two books that Foreign Minister has written?
I'm familiar with both, sir. The India Way and Why Bharat Matters. I have partly read the first book, sir. I had only started it but could not complete it.
Okay. What part have you read? First chapter, second chapter, half of it?
Sir, first one or two chapters, sir. I read a couple of months back.
Do you recall anything? How are we dealing with, let's say, China?
Sir, I do recall, sir. I believe it is about containing China and preventing escalation of our conflicts, but continuing our engagement, such as on the economic front.
Okay, thank you. I think, where are you speaking to us today from?
From Bhopal, sir.
You are in Bhopal right now.
Yes.
Okay.